Hi, this is Dan with Outlet Novus. A little bit of a different video for you guys today. Um, Different format. Instead of waiting like 2 hours to show you a technique step by step, I'm actually going to do a time lapse and kind of just talk over it. Um, I've been using a certain technique with using Wonderdraft as the primary tool in going in and creating more realistic coastlines, making the map more realistic instead of like curves and flats and stuff like that. So here's the process. First of all, once this gets started, we're going to be looking at a map I did in Photoshop. Okay, I've gone ahead and done the basic landforms. I've gone ahead and made it how I like it, except it's not, there's parts in it that looks kind of rough. So I'm preparing to export it right here to Wonderdraft. When you export to Wonderdraft, the background that is black is always going to be your water, and the foreground is going to be white. That's going to be your landmass. And right here, I forgot to turn on the transparency. I'll lock the transparency. Okay, so two maps we're going to do really quick. I'm also making a note of the resolution of the image. You can go pretty high with Wonderdraft now. Just recording the resolution of both the maps. And saving them. Yeah, these are very high detail. They're kind of crazy. Not only does this technique help define a coastline and make it more realistic, but it's a really fun and good way to edit a map to make it look really consistent with a coastline. Sometimes in coming in and out of projects, we're using different brushes and different tools, and this is a way to get around it. So I've opened up Wonderdraft, and I've hit New. I've entered in the exact resolution of the previous Photoshop map. And now I've imported the map. And as you can see, the black is now water, the white is now land. And I'm cutting down on all the little graphic things on Photoshop to create a high contrast map. In Wonderdraft to create a high contrast map. I'm using the Raise tool with a roughness to get rid of all these little deebly dabs in there that didn't work well in the importing. Now I'm using a roughness of about 1 right here, and I'm starting to cut back on some of the areas that I find that don't look natural. Like right there, you can see the little blobs from the Photoshop brush. I'm just going in and, taking them out. The reason I do it in Photoshop is, refer to some of the other videos, like using Doppler radar to create landforms. I might do another video live on that. And right here, you can see that, the nasty little areas that look like just kind of pixelated and squared. And I'm just taking the roughness brush and going through those and kind of fixing them up so they look good. See that straight line? Just getting those as well, down here as well. And again, right there too. I find it a lot easier to take away from a landform than add to a landform. I will start adding to stuff I feel like I've taken away too much stuff. Too much land mass. But again, just going in, eyeballing where I see that this is not working. Sorry if I'm getting you nauseated with the zooming back and forth. I'm kind of it too. Now I'm going to start adding little tiny areas to give it kind of a cooler feel, take it away. I'm using the Alt key on Wonderdraft here to switch between subtract and add all at the same time. Add some islands, kind of filling up a little negative space. That's too much with something interesting. I've increased the roughness there to kind of make the islands a little bit cooler. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to make it, when I export it, I want this as high as contrast as possible. So I'm going into the settings and I'm trying to get rid of that black on the coast with the templates. So I'm just playing with colors, and that's good. I got kind of a cool contrast there. But I want one color for the land, one color for the ocean. There you go. You can see me hitting the borders as a single color. I'm now going to export this. First of all, my first export is the standard size. That's Wonderdraft doing its thing. Now I'm going to do a double resolution of the map. I find the double resolution is really good because when the importing from Wonderdraft to other programs, you get really clean lines if you double expose it, and then come back at it, stuff like that. Here's my second map, same process. Now I did save my settings, and instead of redoing everything, I just went directly to this import. Just checking the brush and roughness, looking through this, getting rid of any type of little choppiness. I had a select area in mind right here for this specific map. I kind of wanted a Mediterranean feel. And again, I'm getting rid and adding defining shapes a little bit better so it just doesn't look like noise. Now I've got this really kind of crazy straight line. So I'm going in and adding just some mass to it. The specific map, I really knew what I wanted with it. I already had a bunch of notes. And I knew exactly where the shape I wanted to define and how I wanted to look. So now it's just a process of going in and taking away and adding or cleaning stuff up a little. Later in the video, I'll be actually taking this back into Photoshop and then using it in Artrage. And there I go, saving it. Again, saving it standard size and then saving it big sized. I'm also redoing how I save files. Yeah, I'm horrible at that. Okay, we're back in. We're now going to be opening up Artrage. Check if there's any updates. There's not any updates. Well, this is interesting. This is a mistake I made, but that's okay. This is good. I realized that I had it taken out. I hadn't made a transparency. So I'm going back into Photoshop. And I'm selecting this gray area. And if you noticed, it gives me, with such a high resolution, it gives me, you don't see the pixelization, you don't see the lines. You don't see the shift between the land and the ocean. You get that a lot with large maps. But again, that's why I use Wonderdraft, because it takes care of that and blends it so nicely. It saves me a lot of time in Artrage. So I've now imported our image with transparency into Artrage, and I'm going to start the process. I'm going to outline all the coastal with a thick tube to add mass to it. Again, we're in Artrage now. You can watch the other videos for exactly what I'm doing. I'll explain as we go. Artrage allows us to put globs of paint or mass onto a picture and then build on that. It's kind of like sculpting. It's 2.5D. So I'm outlining the coasts. I'm outlining the coasts, putting as much mass on the coast as possible. And we're doing all the little water areas too. I'm also using, I've been trying this lately and it's been working quite well. I've been using a lot of different colors to add material in Artrage. And it looks really weird, but it's really giving me an effect I really like. Now I'm not using any custom brushes. This is all by hand. Then I'm here. Now I'm going for my next. This is going to be my next size. And this is going to be a lot thicker. Add an extra border. And again, I'm using this to kind of get an idea of where I want to place the mountains. There are certain mountains I have in mind to do, certain areas I want mountains in, but this process lets me create something a lot more natural. And again, just going around and around and around and around. As I'm getting this done, Wonderdraft. The more I use it as a tool, I mean, making maps in it is fine. but I'm finding it almost a lot more useful as an accessory to my other processes. The difference I found with the Coast, I really wish I did a side-by-side comparison, but the difference on coastline and landmass and the form of stuff is greatly enhanced. Also, sometimes with Photoshop, when you're exporting an image and you've deleted the transparency, you get a little bit of artifacts that don't transition between point A and point B. And this process takes care of that because you're going into Wonderdraft, and Wonderdraft just kind of normalizes everything and makes everything look a lot better between the transitions. Now this is the next higher area. This is kind of, me filling out land masses. The red is going to be the lowest. That horrible baby food color is going to be the next higher coastal. This orange is going to be the higher levels. Now you see right here is the 3 mountain ranges that I really wanted to do. That was important on this one. And so this brown is going to be exactly where I put most of the very large mountain ranges. And this is giving me an idea of where I want to place everything. I'm going to start moving into get rid of those circles. Okay, really high mountain ranges there. To get rid of the snaky feel that those lines, I'm going to go in. I'm making 2 maps here. Excuse me, I've duplicated the layer. I've made sure the blending's on additive, not maximum, in the other videos. I've combined them so I get double the size. And now I'm working from either top towards the bottom or, from sea to the mountains. There, right there. You can really see it right there. And I'm blending things up a little bit better. Again, that's harsh chaos I'm using. Going in, dragging topography from lowest to highest there to get rid of the squiggly lines and also create a very natural flow of the land and also the height of the land. Really, really jazzed up about the results I got here. Making sure I hit all the coastline and don't leave too many artifacts. Again, with Artrage, it's easy to fix those. And again, this is just our base for our Artrage. But by using Wonderdraft, I get it very clean. I don't have to do any tidy up. I just can focus on what this one program does exceptionally well without worrying on anything. Now I'm going to go in and color stuff. Make it all uniform. I'm using the airbrush, just adding some gray, about 20% metallic into it. There we go. All right, that's that. And here's a zoomed in image of what we've done. Kind of get the texture of stuff like that. All right, that's the technique. Again, Artrage to Photoshop to Wonderdraft, back to Photoshop to Artrage. It seems really convoluted, but it's actually saved me a lot of time. Thanks for watching, and we got some crazy new announcements, such as a live stream channel on Twitch. I think I'm going to put videos like this on YouTube. Just kind of mix it up a little. A lot of people like the videos. They don't like the time commitment on them, so I hope this works better. Thanks, and have a great day.